Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Spotlight Show. I'm your host. My name is Jabez Napoleon Ogbole, and I'm very excited to be with you this Sunday evening. Like I always say, every Sunday, the highlight of my weekend, being able to, be on air and being able to reach you wherever you may be, from your TV device, from your cell phones, from your tablets, your laptops. You may be at work right now, you may be home and enjoying your Sunday evening, or you may be driving. So wherever you are, whatever you are doing, I want to say good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, because I know there are some of our viewers, because of the time zone, they're probably in the morning right now. So I want to give it quick thanks to every one of you. And remember, we are live and we are broadcasting from the city of Toronto at the GBKM studio. So thank you once again. And you can always check out our website at www.gbkm.fm. We are live right now on our social media handles, GBKM TV or GBKM FM, if you're on YouTube, Facebook, or Instagram. So thank you once again. And remember, our platform, we pride ourselves as the mouthpiece of the community. Africans in diaspora, wherever you may be, we try to have content that cater to our needs. So please like, share, and subscribe on our various social media handles on the Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. All right, thank you so much. Today is quite interesting. You can see I've got my beret, so and I've got, because today's topic of discussion is very important. What's today's topic of discussion? It's a recent event, reshaping Africa and what you and I can do. Honestly speaking, the Africa we know today has changed drastically. And I'm not just talking about economy or technology. I'm just talking about way of life. There's so many things happening right now that it's a bit alarming and concerning. And the current the current generation right now, the older generation, whatever age grade you may find yourself, it's very important for us to look at some of these issues and begin to discuss it, address it, and see how we can be able to make changes. Is very important, because if we wait for the future to make those changes, it's really unfair. We must do our own part, before we leave this planet. All right, guys. So like I said before, today's topic is recent event reshaping Africa and what you and I can do. So the phone lines are going to be open. We like to open our phone lines so you can be interactive. You can call in, and the number is 1-866-613-1960. All right, guys. So before we go into today's topic, I want to do a quick shout out to say thank you to my viewers at home, wherever you may be watching me right now. And also I want to say special thanks to our sponsors who have been there with us, making this show possible. First of all, the African Young Entrepreneur, AYEonline.org, doing amazing things in the entrepreneurship sector in Africa. Quick shout out to Imani's Place. It's a shelter for women between the ages of 18 and I believe 30. So if you have a sister or a mother that is going through any of those issues, homelessness, victim of domestic violence, sex trafficking, etc., why not reach out to them? And obviously Pan-African Arts, Culture and Trade Institute, wonderful institution based out here in Toronto, www.pakati.org. And of course, Top Run Consulting. Top Run Consulting are the leaders in IT training and certification. Check them out, www.toprun.ca. They have locations across the globe. So wherever you may be, they will have something from you. And remember, training right now is quite virtual because of COVID-19 restriction across the globe. And obviously, Daniela Corporation, that's a company very close to my heart, and shout out to them for the amazing work they're doing. And very soon you're going to see some of their solutions and products and services that are going to benefit you and I. All right, guys. So if you're just joining me, I want to say thank you for taking your time out of your busy schedule this Sunday evening to be with me. It's probably late night right now in some part of the world, West Africa, in Caribbean, and Europe, those that use the GMT and West African time, wherever you may be. I want to say thank you. All right, guys, so we're going to show you, like I always do every week. Remember, what's the intent of this particular program is to discuss topics of interest that affect you and I, people of African descent, people of color all across the globe. Whether you're in the continent of Africa, you're in the Caribbean, or you're in Europe, Middle East, Asia, North America, why not? This show is for you. So we discuss topics of interest. We bring to you facts and figures, so that way you and I can make informed decisions, And I always support entrepreneurship, guys. You know that every week I talk about entrepreneurship and the need to have multiple streams of income, the need to build a business. It's good to have a career. There's nothing wrong with that. But remember, nowadays, there's no more career for life. Our parents, our grandparents, they had the opportunity to work for 1 or 2 employers throughout their working age. But even I myself, I work for several employers, because the dynamics of our job keep changing and a lot of companies keep getting restructures, etc. And we are becoming a global village, and capitalism is taking over. So guys, let's go into today's topic of discussion. I'm going to share a quick slide with you just to talk about some of the challenges our brothers and sisters all across the continent, in the Caribbean, even in the Middle East are facing. And some of this information is quite disturbing, like the report I saw recently, and this is quite interesting. So I'm going to quickly zoom into this report so you can actually see some of the information we want to talk about. Yes, violence against women. This is a very serious topic right now affecting the continent in Africa, because as many countries are experiencing restrictions and lockdowns, restriction of movement and traveling, for some reason the victims that are being affected the most are actually the women, and it seems so absurd, because I do not understand when Africa, we take pride in our women. You understand? Of course, we know that there is always going to be issues, there's going to be exceptions. But I mean, I grew up in Africa, and growing up in Africa, we treated our women with pride. Our culture respects women. So now, when I hear news, because if you look at some of these countries highly impacted, for example, Liberia is there. Liberia recorded 50% increase in gender-based violence in the first half of this year. First half of 2020, there was so much, gender-based violence, issues of rape, sexual molestation, etc. in Sierra Leone. 50% increase. That is huge. I don't know the exact number, but whatever number may be, that is huge. Look at Nigeria as well. Nigeria also saw an increase of sexual violence during the curfews. And I'm beginning to wonder what sort of sickness is going across the continent, because something we have to take a look at. Apart from our culture, we are very religious as well. Christianity and Islam is deeply rooted in the continent, and I know a huge percentage of the population belong to those faiths. So I'm wondering who are the people committing these atrocities, and that's why we have this topic for discussion today, what you and I can do, because we now live in a technological era whereby, news travel fast. It's not like before, where it takes time to get print media or get, important news on mainstream TV. But now, through Facebook and several social media apps, news travel fast. And that's why I want to talk about this today, because it's very important. Apart from Liberia and Nigeria, Kenya as well. Kenya local media reported almost 4,000 schoolgirls becoming pregnant when schools were closed due to COVID-19 lockdown. That is just not beneficial, for the country and for the continent. Not only Kenya, Central African Republic reported another increase, 27% more instances of rape and 69% more cases where women and children were hurt. Come on, what's going on? And we're not just talking about North Africa, East, West. We're talking about all across Africa. And not only that, look at South Africa. South Africa Gender-Based Violence Command Center noticed a strong upward trend in violence against women during the lockdown as well. And not only South Africa, what about South Sudan? South Sudanese activists are beginning to protest against gang rape. That is so disgusting. I read an article about how some people in South Sudan were able to were raping minors. What sort of sickness goes into a human being's head to be able to commit such atrocities? It's quite alarming. I know this is not the kind of information you want to hear on the Sunday evening. But the truth is bitter, and it has to be told, because we have to start holding people accountable for this kind of nonsense. And not only that, if you look at the slide as well, Sierra Leone also has the issue, and Uganda has the issue. I saw an article recently, even Namibia, a very, very wonderful young and aspiring lady was raped and killed. And I'm wondering, when did this foreign culture, foreign diseases, foreign beliefs, you understand, how were they able to come into Africa and then be able to take hold of some of these young men and adults? And guys, this is why I have this discussion today, because it's not something we can just look and and say, oh, it doesn't affect me, so not necessarily not my business. No. Right now, what's happening is that even in Nigeria, there's a hashtag, we are tired. So women are protesting. If you look at the screen right now, enough is enough. Enough is enough is another hashtag that's trending, and women begin to talk all across the globe. Not only that, even there's hashtag South Sudanese survival. So guys, what I'm trying to say is that most of us have access to Facebook, we have access to Instagram, and Twitter as well. So we can begin to tweet some of these messages. Because if you don't do it and waiting for the mainstream media, they won't do that for you, because mainstream media are already used to being able to, push issues and agenda that is more beneficial to them, to their ratings and to their audience. So because you have followers on your Facebook account, on your Instagram, these people can be able to access this information, daily. So that's why I'm pushing that. Not only will you post your fancy meal, your fancy clothes, and all the parties you go into, post some of these social issues that is affecting the continent, because we have to put a stop to it now. It's very important. We must put a stop to this and be able to respect our women, because women are very important, because without women there's no procreation. We cannot continue to live on this earth. You understand? And one of the main reasons why we're on this earth is to replenish the earth and then continue procreate, so that there's future generations that come after us, because we're not the first here, we won't be the last. So guys, join me, and please be able to join this movement, or the trending hashtag, the Me Too movement, the We Are Tired movement, the movement for South Sudanese survival, etc. Even the movement Enough is Enough in Namibia as well, guys. So this is very important, and I want us to take a very wonderful look into these particular issues and be able to spread the news. I know, growing up, older generation had this culture of, when some certain things happen and it causes shame, people try to keep it. They don't want the public to know about it, because they don't want people to know about their shame. But I'm very, very happy for the current generation, this younger generation right now, because if you do the crime, you do the time. They have no time for sentiment, because these are adults. You understand? You need to weigh the consequences of your action. So guys, you have your mobile phone, take pictures of this individual, post it out there. Let's begin to share it out there. Let's begin to let these people know that they are being watched. You can't commit these atrocities in the continent and think you can go away with it. Not only the continent of Africa, I'm even talking about Europe, Middle East, Asia, North America, and Europe. So guys, let's be our brother's keeper, our sister's keeper as well. All right, guys, so we're going to move into the next item, because Africa is going through so many changes right now. And I want to know from you, is this going to reshape Africa for the better, or is this the beginning of the end of the continent, whereby there's going to be a lot of violence, a lot of protests, a lot of issues that may go out of hands and go into some form of revolution or civil war? I don't think so. Humanity has evolved to a point that we're not reasonable. We don't take a lot of rash decisions, and I hope it doesn't happen as well. So guys, the next story I want to talk about, I don't know if you heard of this, Burkina Faso. Let's zoom into that and let's read some of those information. Yes, according to New York Times, Burkina Faso is going through a lot of mayhem right now. And it does bother me, because Burkina Faso is a very wonderful country. It's a very popular country as well. Thomas Sankara, if you remember very, very well, the beret I'm wearing is similar to the one he wears as well. It's very important. Burkina Faso, just like my country of birth, Nigeria, they've been having a lot of, violence happening in that country. And it's quite heartbreaking. Apart from COVID-19, there's been flood as well. Burkina Faso has been hit by heavy rain, and it's affected over 7,000 people. There's political and security crisis. There's armed conflict between different groups based on ethnicity and religion, etc. So guys, wherever you may be, we need to let the whole world know what's going on in all these countries. Even Cameroon as well is having issues. Mali is having issues. So today's topic is, how can we help? Yes, we can help by making sure people are aware of these issues. Let's talk more about it. In the diaspora alone, there's a lot of Nigerians, a lot of Burkina Faso, there's a lot of people from Mali, people from some of these countries going through South Sudan, etc. So what can you do? If data is an issue in the continent, because a whole lot of people may not be able to afford data to access the internet, but we know that talk is cheap in the Western world. Data is easily accessible, and it's affordable as well. So guys, what you can do on a daily basis, scroll through some of these issues and then just paste it out there. Let people know about it. You understand? Yeah, some people may not want to, know, because some people believe that ignorance is bliss, but we are past that right now, like I said. So it's very important we talk about these issues. We broadcast it, let people know about this issue. We shouldn't just be broadcasting jokes alone, or maybe religious teachings or motivational teaching. We should also broadcast some of these issues. It's very important so that people can begin to pray. We are religious people, so let's pray and let's take action, because these are human beings in this country taking decisions, and there's no problem without a solution. That's what I believe. You understand? It just takes dialogue, and obviously you must be willing to reach a consensus. All right, guys. So that's what is happening in Burkina Faso right now, and apart from that, we know Mali as well. Mali is going through some issues right now. So I'm just calling some of these African countries because, we are one people. And Mali is another country going through some crisis right now. So we need to, reach out and see what's going on, because what bothers me in Malawi is the fact that there's drastic rise in suicide rate. Sometimes I always wonder what goes through people's mind to be able to, make that decision to kill themselves. I understand there's a lot of challenges, you understand, economically, socially, culturally, and etc. But there's always a solution to every problem. I don't think taking lives it's one of the solutions, because some of these individuals are family people. They are fathers, they are mothers, they have siblings, and they have responsibility. And when they go, what's going to happen? It just compounds the problem. So when I came across this, let's zoom into that particular email. When I came across this article from The Guardian, and I decided to talk about it on this program. You see, it's a pandemic, because you see a sharp increase in suicide rate, and apart from that, some of this is attributed to economic issues due to COVID-19, and the same Malawi police report an increase as much as over 50%. The same compared to the same period last year. Wow, that is so, guys, man. For those of us who are religious, any religious person, be it an imam in Islam, a pastor in Christianity, or whatever other religions, be it teachers and whatnot. Let's join hands and hearts in prayers, and then make sure that this kind of practices are done with, and this country have the enabling environment to deal with some of these issues. I know it's not easy, and we all have our own problem, which is true. But at the end of the day, we're all humans, and we're able to show love when we can to our fellow brothers and sisters. So you see, we've talked about some of these issues happening across Africa. We started with gender-based violence across different countries in Africa. We talk about Burkina Faso going through some of this insurgency. It's happening right now in my country as well. We've talked about Malawi as well. These are nations with wonderful people, and I think we can do our own bit by trying to broadcast some of this information, let people know, so that we can begin to discuss, so that the government know that everybody's watching them. Because some government think that people do not know what's going on in their country because they may be quite remote or they may be small. No, everybody knows, because there's the internet now. That's the beauty of the internet. People can actually know what's going on right now in your country, and they could be miles and miles and thousands of miles away in a different continent, guys. So that's very important. And obviously, let's go to the next slide. Recently, what happened? Recently, what happened is that Nigeria has been on the news. And yes, and I'm very happy for that, because like I said, my country of birth is Nigeria, even though I'm based in Canada. Nigeria has been on the news. Why? Because of the special anti-robbery squad who are a unit within the police force in that country. And it's been amazing, because now the NSAS movement is gaining momentum. Why? Because the youth, if not all the youth, majority of the youth in that country, Nigeria, are actually standing up. They're speaking up. They have the right. They have freedom of speech. So they are speaking up against the injustice, perpetrated by this special unit within the police force. And no, guys, this is not the first time this has happened. There's several calls for the disbandment of this particular squad. However, this year has been different, because in the history of my country of birth, Nigeria, we've never had this kind of movement across the nation. Different states is having protests right now. Yesterday, I'm in the city of Toronto. Yesterday, we were out in Dundas Square. We went to the city of Toronto's mayor's office, and we had to protest so that way people and foreign government, you understand, can also help intervene and speak to these political leaders in this country, you understand, to make effective change. You know, we know that the youth are the future of tomorrow. And however, if you begin to kill this youth, I myself, I have my own story to talk about, because you know I go to my country Nigeria every year, and every year I always have interaction with the police force. And I need to say this to all the police out there in Nigeria: none of this is against any of this police force, you understand, because the people are actually out there demonstrating outside the comfort of their home. It's not as if they want to, but they need to, and they're actually fighting for the police right. And this protest, you know, came up with 5-point agenda to the current administration in the country to make changes, not only to the police, you understand, but other sectors within the country. And Nigeria is one of the most populous countries in Africa. They are called the giants of Africa. So I see this as a very, very, very important issue, you know. And before we go further into this, like I said before, the phone lines are open, so you can actually call in and we can take calls and we can discuss this issue. And the number again is 1-866-613-1960. Before we go into some of these reasons why the youth in Nigeria, you know, and me especially, you know, is in support of this protest, you understand, we're going to go on a quick break, and when we come back, we'll discuss some of these issues, and perhaps we may get a caller to also give us some insight into some of these happenings. So please stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Do you know who you are? What is your name?
Sometimes you wonder why and wonder how. Don't be alone, just stay calm, cause even if you choose or not to.
My child, recite the words of this ancient mythology. The wisdom I disperse in this verse, no apology. Memorize to keep you from evil theology. For you, the darker hue, you denied your equality. See, for generations we perpetrated psychology. Divide and conquer each other, really lynch policy. You cannot build each other up, how will you build economy?
Do you know who you are? What is your name?
All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You are on the Spotlight Show. I'm your host, Jabez Napoleon Ogbole, and we are broadcasting live right now from the GBKM studio in the city of Toronto. So if you're just joining us, welcome to the show. You haven't missed much, because after the live broadcast, we actually have the recordings on our YouTube channel, GBKM TV. So you can go back to YouTube and you can watch this particular episode. So please remember to share, subscribe, tell your friends and loved ones about this program. And obviously, you know, when you get this particular episode or other episode through Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, why not share it? Share it to everyone, including your naysayers, those that don't believe in your dreams and aspirations. Let them know that you're actually watching the Spotlight, and very soon the Spotlight is going to be on you, and they will see that you actually actualize your dream that they never believed in. So always believe in yourself, guys, because you are responsible for your own destiny, no one else. Okay, guys? So yes, before we went on the break, we were talking about the trending issues right now in one of the most populous nations in Africa, which is Nigeria. Yes, you can see the video. This is from the city of Toronto yesterday. We were out there on the grounds supporting the Nigerian youth, you know, to make their demands heard, so that the present administration of the President Muhammadu Buhari can begin to look into this issue, because it's serious. It's like a white fire. It's spreading, and I'm letting the government know right now that it's not going to stop, because these youths are tired. There's so many youths. The biggest age bracket of Nigerian population is the youth. There's so many youth, so many potentials in the Nigerian youth, but still here there's, you know, poor infrastructure, there's no jobs, there's no industrializations. The government exclude the youth completely. If you look at past administration and current administration in the Nigerian government, how many youths do you see there? And people keep saying the youth are the future, are the leaders of tomorrow. If they cannot lead now, when is that tomorrow is not guaranteed? You know, so guys, so take a look at this video. It's very important. and we begin to discuss some of these issues. So for some of us there yesterday, some of us couldn't make it yesterday, so why not? There's other protests that's going to be happening across Canada and across the world. All you have to do is be able to find out what is happening by going on the internet, and when you do, why not share it with your friends and family? Let this movement continue. We're not talking about revolution. We're not talking about armed conflict. No, we're using our voices. That is our most important power. Remember, you and I are activists. Honestly speaking, I'm on the air right now sharing vital information with you. I'm an activist because I want a better future for you. And not only that, I see it's not only politicians that are activists, lecturers are activists. Why? Because they're in the confines of the university imparting knowledge on you for you to be able to, replicate that and develop your country. Even the medical professional, everybody's an activist. You understand? As long as you are fighting, political injustice, social injustice, you understand, and several other beliefs, you understand, you are an activist. It's not a party. And that's why I have my gear on today, so that you can know that this is serious, guys. You understand? We're taking this very, very serious. So if you're watching me right now from Nigeria, know that we in the city of Toronto and Canada as a country, we do support you. And let me quickly take a look at some of these demands. And you be the judge. Tell me these demands are ridiculous. I don't think they are ridiculous. They are very, very, very simple, straightforward, that any government will be very, very happy to engage this youth, you understand, bring them aboard. Just like Canada here. Canada, our Prime Minister Justin Trudeau is in his early 40s. You understand? It's only in Africa you have a lot of leaders, who are of the retirement age. I have no problem with that if you are effective. But if you're not effective, then let your cabinet be filled with youth. I saw a video recently from a very popular preacher in Nigeria, TB Joshua. He was saying he had the vision that there was a revolution. Now, some of the solution is that current government and future government need to use the youth. If they have so much pool of youthful population, why not taking advantage of them? Why are you letting them just be idle? It asks that even if you do not think they are experienced enough to hold a whole portfolio, a ministerial appointment, you can make them a junior minister, so that this individual you make the main minister, who you think is experienced because of his age or experience, the junior minister can actually job shadow and learn from this person. I don't see anything wrong with that. Why should you have Nigerian government spend a whole lot of money on recurrent expenditures? Some of the salary and packages of these politicians is ridiculous. If the country was very rich, like America, I have no problem with that. But the problem, the fact is that the country is struggling financially to be able to generate income. And if you're not able to generate revenue, and you spend bulk of your revenue on recurring expenditures and salaries, because, for instance, even the president has so many special assistants, special advisors, in addition to ministers, in addition to the fact that even the ministry have so many staff that can do the work. I see no reason why you still employ so many senior special advisor, senior special assistant, etc. But if you can fill this position with youth, that would be very, very important, because at the end of the day, you don't need to pay them that much. Our youths are just out there right now trying to get any job they can do, and people think they are lazy, and that's why the End SARS campaign is so loud, because most youth have been a victim of SARS police brutality. As soon as you go out there, you are well dressed. They believe, no, a youth in Nigeria cannot be successful except it's a scammer. How can you have such thought pattern of your own fellow brothers and sisters? It's ridiculous. I personally am speaking with passion. Why? Because I know a few years ago I went back home. And if you know me, I used to have long hair. And definitely the police actually stopped me, and it was quite an ugly experience. So just on the screen, the 5 points that the youth are asking for. Yes, number one, immediate release of all arrested protesters. So unfortunately for the government, when the youth were protesting, the police still went in there. The police, knowing fully well that the youth are actually demanding a better life for the police, a better career for the police still went there to oppress the youth and arrest some of them. It's obviously the police have the right to arrest individuals that is causing chaos, that is breaking the law. But this individual were not breaking the law. And people have been trying to advocate across the country for the release of these people. I don't think that is too much to ask. The next one is justice for all deceased victims of police brutality and appropriate compensation for their families. Yesterday, I met a young man, a very wonderful man, popular person, I won't mention his name, at the protest ground here in the city of Toronto. His younger brother was the victim of police brutality. His younger brother was killed by Nigerian police. So that's what the youth are calling for. Not just the youth, even everyone is clamoring for this, that there needs to be justice. You understand? There needs to be closure. It's very painful when you know fully well that the individual who perpetrated such crime is out there free roaming the street with not any care. It's wrong. So the government needs to take a look into this, because these people are known. It's not as if these people are in their spirit, or people know them. So let's bring them to account, look at the evidence. If they are found guilty, let them face the law. The third point is setting up an independent body to oversee the investigation and prosecution of all reported police misconduct within a period of 10 days. A period of 10 days is a bit short, but still, it's not unreasonable to set up an independent body to oversee the investigation and prosecution of police misconduct. If you go on social media, you see a lot of videos of police misconduct. They are not even ashamed to hide it, you understand? But that's why the youth are fighting for the cops, because they are underpaid. And we'll get to that in a minute. Let's take a look at the other demands. The other demand is carry out psychological evaluation and retraining of all disbanded members of the Special Anti-Robbery Squad operative before they can be deployed into other areas of the police force. It's very important, because you have to understand human psychology. The way the human brain works is that it gets conditioned. And if these individuals have been perpetrating crime all these years without any sort of fear or any sort of recourse to the law, then it becomes normal for them. They think they are doing the normal thing. It's always like that. There's a popular saying, even the road to hell, have some good intentions. But guys, so I don't think it's too much, because the police really need training. Honestly speaking, sometimes when I see Nigeria police back home, sometimes I am moved to give them money. But I do not want to, because I don't want to see as if I am bribing a public officer, because it's a crime. But the situation is quite depressing. And I think the government should do this. And obviously, the last point, the point number 5, the government should increase police salary, and they should be adequately compensated for protecting lives and property of the citizens. It's all there. So tell me, guys, do you think this is unreasonable demands from the Nigerian youth to the government? I don't think so. Because if the police are well paid, this is the 21st century. Do you know that in Nigeria, the police are still in the barracks? How can they be effective? Police, they do community policing. You need to be living among the people you police. So that way, you can be able to show empathy. You can be able to know your community and police it properly. We understand the country needs some changes in their constitution, but because some of these things are ingrained in the constitution, and you really require consensus to make all these changes. But guys, every human being will know that these are not ridiculous demands. So anyone that's against this demand, there must be something wrong. Or depends, you explain to us why are they against this demand and what is their own alternative solution. So guys, this is what the show is about. Bringing insight and information to you that benefits both you and I. We can make informed decision, guys. So like I said, you can look at my attire today. I'm really in the mood for protest, because I'm not just protesting for the sake of protesting. No, these are very, very valid and vital demands that the government needs to do. The police needs to be more effective. They need to have dignity in their labor. Police cannot be paid, meager sum. And you see our politicians who are only appointed for 4 years. After their appointment, they become multi-millionaires because they are benefited from the office. And the police that's supposed to protect lives is suffering. It just doesn't work. You can't do that in a modern society. You can't do that in a progressive society. It doesn't work. There has to be dignity in labor. People should see the police and say, in this part of the world, police have pride in their job. Yes, we understand that technology is very important to solve some of these problems. But the youth are very, very smart. Nigerian youth are one of the smartest youth across the world. So if you're looking for technology solution to solve some of these problems, all you have to do is provide the enabling environment, and they will work. Nigeria is the most populated nation in the world. Still, there's no constant electricity supply. But within that nation, there are so many companies, so many foreign embassies, so many religious organizations who have independent power plants, able to generate electricity for their own use. And the country say, oh, we cannot come together to fix that issue. So guys, come on, man. So this is the time to act, and this is the time we are protesting, because how old am I? In a few years, I'm going to be in my retirement age. And guys, so it's very important that we begin to get the youth active in government. Because at the end of the day, what's going to happen? The same people who have been in power since independence, when the colonial left, are still the same people there. It's about time to recycle and bring in fresh brains, guys. That is my opinion. What is your opinion, guys? So if you have any opinion out there, why not? Give us a shout out. Send us an email, spotlight@gbkm.fm is our email. Send me a direct message on Instagram. My Instagram account is @jaybes, JAYGBES, guys. So like I always said, it's very important for us to be our brother's keeper. Let's be more aware of what's going on around our environment, wherever you may be, whatever part of the world. Because remember, we're all global citizens. Wherever you find peace of mind is your home. If you find peace of mind in Canada, is your home. You need to invest in that community. You need to participate in what is going on in that community. And you need to be able to give back. It's very important because the progress and success you enjoy today were as a result of the past generation who labor to ensure that. And remember, I always talk about multiple streams of income. Now, I will never stop saying it because it's very important, and I always practice what I preach. So multiple streams of income is very important. So be an ambassador wherever you may be. You don't know who's looking at you. Whatever career you may find yourself, whatever you may find doing diligently and do it very well and be proud of it, because you never can tell who's looking or where that particular job or product or service that you render may take you. So guys, it's been wonderful once again as we come to the end of this show. Like I said, it's a 30 minutes long show, 6 to 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So please remember to join us next week as well. We're going to be having very wonderful, interesting topics. And please reach out to me if you have any information. If you have any new business idea out there looking for partners and investors, reach out to me because like I said, I practice what I preach. And remember, you're always in the spotlight. The change you seek begins with you. Good night.
gbkm.fm. That is career, CAREER, at gbkm.fm. It's time to turn your passion into a career. Do you believe you could host an entertaining, engaging, and thoughtful weekly show? Or are you a business person or entrepreneur interested in building a brand for yourself? Can you connect with an audience and have strong social media skills? If so, the GBKM Network would love to invite you to join our team. We're looking for driven, genuine folks who are willing to work hard as an independent broadcaster. If this sounds like you, come join our team. For more information, email your resume to career@gbkm.fm. That is career, CAREER, at gbkm.fm. It's time to turn your passion into a career. Do you believe you could host an entertaining, engaging, and thoughtful weekly show? Or are you a business person or entrepreneur interested in building a brand for yourself? Can you connect with an audience and have strong social media skills? If so,